Hello everyone, this is Darcinovia here, and I'm back with another review, and this time it's going to be on a novelization of the very first Star Wars film and the first Star Wars novel ever, published. Now, I've reviewed the movie, I've reviewed the comic adaptation, and I think that it would be strange for an expanded universe reviewer not to review the novelization of the first Star Wars movie at some point. And you know what? I'm done with the Clone Wars era. I've been done for a while. I figure, why not come back and review a you know, prequel era, you know, novel? Because I haven't done that in like over a year. So let's begin. Now, this was published in 1976. So, in a way, the EU is actually older than the movies themselves from a certain point of view. If I'm not going to get into the complicated history with the movie A New Hope, I mean, there's other people that could talk about it far better than I could. I'm just going to focus on the novel. And for those of you who've watched my channel, you know that I'm not a big fan of Alan Dean Foster. I am not really a fan of his work in Star Wars. I mean, everything I've read, I haven't liked. From the Force Awakens novelization, yes, I'm bringing that up because he did write that, to The Approaching Storm and Splinter of the Mind's Eye and this. Now, unlike The Approaching Storm and The Force Awakens, I'm going to be more fair on this. I may have been a little too harsh on Splinter of the Mind's Eye when I reviewed it, a few years ago. Without this novel and the movie that spawned from this, there would be no expanded universe. Even though I think many novelizations are kind of a word to word, copy of the movie. And if you're a Star Wars fan, now this is in canon and Legends, but I consider this a Legends novel because, a good chunk of this information is Legends and it contradicts canon. But if you are looking for to read something, I don't think it's a bad read. It's interesting from a historical perspective because there's certain information in this book that this is all we had for years regarding how Palpatine came into power, and a lot of that information actually came from the prologue of this book, which, in my opinion, I think it's the best part of the book, considering the information is interesting. Now it's not going to be anything significant, considering all the information has already been revealed in the Star Wars prequels through their novelizations, expanded universe materials, etc. But it's interesting to read, and wonder just how much this franchise has evolved since the novelization came out. Originally, it was called The Adventures of Luke Skywalker, which was the original title. Of course, it was renamed, yada, 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 the drill if you've read this. Now, if you've already seen the movie like I have, like any person of my generation, a million times growing up, is it worth reading? Well, unless you're a completionist like me, no, I wouldn't recommend it. Unless you are a completionist or from a historical perspective. If you want to actually, read a piece of history. Because I do consider this, from a historical perspective, a worthy read. But if you're one of those kind of Star Wars fans like myself who just wants to learn more about the Star Wars universe or what's going on during the films, I think that a book like this would be your best bet. This is back at a time where novelizations of films were pretty much a word for word of the movie. So whatever additional information is revealed in these novelizations are stuff that was deleted from the film, like deleted scenes, whether they were filmed or not, or they were based on an earlier draft of the script. Now, I don't think Helen Dean Foster is that good of a writer, in my opinion. So, which is another reason I wouldn't recommend it, especially if you're not a fan of him. I would probably give this a. It's okay. It's not a great book. There's much better Star Wars books out there that you can read. Hell, I would say even some canon books I think are better than the New Hope novelization. But like I said, if you're interested in some historical stuff, I would read this for that particular reason. This is Darcenovia over and out. May the Force be with you, and see you guys next time with another video. Later.